So let's go ahead and begin with a prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So let's just take a moment to center. Go ahead and bring yourself back into your body, or at least your attention to the body. Just notice the different sensations in the body from head to toe. And just check in with what's present for you at this particular moment in time. Sort of an open invitation to allow everything to be as it is. An open invitation to the body and all of the signals that it's sending right now. Just to allow yourself to open up to all of them. Every sensation, every feeling, the smells in the room, whatever seems to be coming, just open up to all of it at once. Unfiltered, no need to try to process it, to understand it, judge it. Just pay attention to all that is here at this moment. And just notice it. Yeah, we're not trying to pull anything away, not trying to change anything. We're just seeing what happens when we listen deeply. listen to what the body is telling us. Listen to what the environment is telling us. Listen directly. And just notice. Let go of any attempt to manipulate, push away, judge, and just sit, listen, check in with the body, check in with the environment. Listen to what it's telling you. Just listen. Just listen. Just listen. Connect completely to body, completely to the senses. Let everything else sort of drop away. Your mind may take you on a journey outside of the body, somewhere else. When you notice it, just bring attention gently back to the body, gently back to all the senses, and just continue to listen. Listen and notice. Just notice. Listen. Just notice. Just listen. Let all other concerns be left aside for now. Just listen. Notice. Notice life itself. And its all aspects embodied. Just listen. Allow yourself to sit and listen. Nothing to listen for. Just listen with a completely open, receptive mind. Again, your mind may take you on a journey. When you notice you've been taken for a ride, just go back to listening to the body, noticing the senses. Go back to listening, noticing. Just listen. Just listen. Allow body to lead. Just listen. Observe and allow. Nothing more is required. Keep it simple. Just listen and notice everything. Just listen. Just listen. Allow body and intelligence to guide. Let the mind rest and just listen. Just notice all that's present here and now. Without the context of a past, expectation for a future. Just notice all of it with that attitude of listening. Just listen and allow yourself to rest completely. Allow body to rest completely. Just listen and notice what's going on right now. the only now. Just listen and notice, not trying to push anything away. And not trying to hold on to anything. Just listen deeply with every cell of your body. Listen intensely. Okay, slowly, very slowly, open your eyes and relax. So there's this deep capacity to listen. And as we listen at the level of mind, we develop insight at times. Certain things just come to us. As we slow down, we just listen. All of a sudden we just know. So there's that insight that can come up. As you listen even deeper, I guess below that level of even the layer of thinking, down to that silence, then you begin to really notice that peace, that great expanse of space that's always there. You really begin to notice what's always there, ever present. that's that capacity to really be still and know. So we've always been, I think, when you study, whether it's the Buddha or other teachers, and they talk about the root cause of suffering being a simple misunderstanding. So it's a simple drama that we project upon the world. There's the world itself, and it functions. It moves as it moves. So reality is fluid. The changing is ever changing. And then there's that part of self, you could almost say the mental construct of self. It's more than a construct, it's given life by all of the range of emotions and things like that. That is a bit more fixed, right? Each one of us has a set of conceptual ideas about how things should be. It's interesting in psychology, if you ever study cognitive behavioral therapy, they talk about maladaptive thinking processes and talk about certain key words to listen to that sort of indicate a maladaptive process. So the idea behind it is when we have, in that particular psychological theory, is when, of course, there's a connection between thought and emotion. And when I start thinking a certain way, what we call sort of a maladaptive way, which is a fairly common way of thinking, then I create a suffering for myself and others, right? Because it's not adaptive to the situation. So in that, there's certain key words that you listen to, and one is, or keywords, key concepts. One is should. It should be like this. My wife should be like this. My life should be like this. My body should be like... So you put in the whatever noun and you put a should be on it. And what that does is essentially it takes you away. It's a very disempowering way of thinking. That's why it's called maladaptive. It takes you away from reality and puts you sort of in this expectation that somehow reality should be matching, whatever it is, should be matching my fantasy. It's a form of denial, and in many ways human beings are in a perpetual state of denial. I'm denying that life is as it is, right? And I'm expecting somehow it will magically be the way I want it to be. So this set of expectations creates suffering. So these little trigger words, the other one is maladaptive thought processes, is like generalization. They're all bad. Or on me, I'm horrible. So what that is it's by generalizing, I essentially close. I'm no longer listening. I've closed the story. So, so let's say I drop something. And I say, I'm a klutz, right? Or I'm clumsy, right? So I am clumsy. I've generalized on me that I'm clumsy. And by generalizing that, I've essentially closed the story. I'm no longer listening. I've said, I'm clumsy, that's why. I'm lazy. I'm whatever. So whatever adjective you want to use to describe yourself, you sort of close the door. And so it closes the door to possibility. Another maladaptive process is sort of blame, right, or judgment. And I don't mean judgment from the standpoint of, there's times where you have to judge things, this isn't quite right at work, meaning from a standpoint of you have a certain thing to create, and in that, you need to make it right? So it's kind of like that. I'm not talking about that sort of judgment, a very practical judgment. I'm talking about the other judgments. General. Most of them are general, right? They're horrible. All blanks are bad, right? You can put whatever ethnic group, religious group, whatever you want, in there, right? Democrats are evil, or Republicans are evil. Choose your party, right? So this is a way to generalize, and then everything is closed. And so that again leads to more and more, you could say, rigid egoic structure. And the more rigid any egoic structure is, the more it suffers. And the reason for that is, so reality is fluid, changing, ever-changing. So what was true yesterday isn't necessarily true today. So yesterday, let's say my car was working. Today it's not working. So the expectation that my car will be working every single day, the expectation that my body will be a certain way every day, these are all, you could say, normal fantasies. I'd almost say a normal set of expectations. Having normal sets of expectations creates a normal amount of suffering. Having abnormal sense of expectations creates an abnormal sense of suffering. I believe everyone should serve me. See how well that works for you, right? So, abnormal sense of expectation leads to abnormal suffering, right? It just means you'll run into more things to blame life for. So that creates a rigid structure. So when you feel that way, you can feel consciousness constrains, right? And as soon as consciousness constrains, right, it's just like, it's like a strong boundary is placed, right? It's closed. Now there are times for that. That I'm not saying there's times when something like that is adaptive. Sometimes it is time just to shut something down, to close off, to defend, right? To run away even, right? There are times for that. There's wisdom in that. So it's recognizing that wisdom. It's more and more it's trusting that wisdom. So there's this wisdom in life that actually each one of us has access to. It's not a unique phenomenon. It's the capacity. Some people seem to be more in tune with it, simply because either by nature or through practice, they've developed that habit of listening at a deeper level, listening to insight, trusting insight. Other people live in a more constrained sense of world, right? Everything must move in terms of sort of a logical framework. And that's okay, it just means there's a set of constraints. And other people can, so whatever it is, however you are, however I am, in terms of tendencies, each one of us has our tendencies. So we can continue to follow the same sanskars over and over again, and that's perfectly fine. There's no reason you need to let go of suffering. And that's kind of the wonderful thing about it. I mean, and the wonderful thing about truth is it's very indifferent. I still remember, I was listening to one talk, and the teacher was saying, essentially, surrender or suffer. It's a choice. Now, if you want to suffer even more intensely, as the Upanishads would say, keep trying to surrender, which is, of course, another form of escape. So these are these wonderful, wonderful, interesting cul-de-sacs you can get into. Trying to surrender is not the same as surrender. It's actually a form of escape. It's kind of like, I guess, in the eternal words of Yoda, right? He said, when Luke Skywalker says, I'll try to move the ship. He says, no try. Either do or do not. Basically, be firm on that. So in the same way, trying to do something again, it's conceptual. That's what Yoda was sort of putting there, right? It's conceptual. Just do it. Just observe the breath. Just sit in silence. Just sit. Just do it. There's effort there. See what happens. So this is just do it. So he's like, just do it. Don't try. Make the effort in the here and now. Let's see what happens if I just make the effort in the here and now. Where does it go? Where will it take me? That's karma yoga, by the way. So karma yoga is simply that. I don't know where the effort will take me. It's okay. But I can put effort. I can put some intensity into whatever I'm doing. And let it take me wherever it takes me. Where's it going to take me? I don't know. So when there's that kind of, then it opens up to a certain amount of wisdom, is no one really knows where life is going to take them. What you begin to realize is it doesn't necessarily matter. It just ends up being these little itty-bitty choices. It's this wonderful dance. Life is this wonderful dance. So now, let's go ahead. Let's do some exploring. Close your eyes. Center a moment on the breath. let the breath sort of anchor you in the moment. Now that you're anchored in the breath, we're going to really begin to notice all that's unreal, impermanent, that we're observing. Ultimately, not you. What you aren't. So you may notice various thoughts arising at this particular moment. Thoughts just sort of spontaneously arise. They come, they appear all of a sudden in our awareness, and then they leave. And as I can notice these thoughts coming into awareness, I can even engage with the thoughts, argue with the thought, therefore, I'm not my thoughts. So I'm not my thinking. My thoughts don't define me. More and more I notice, no thought can define me, or anything else actually completely. It's just thought, an idea, a sound. It's conceptual. It doesn't define what I am. Now I notice various sensations, some pleasant, some unpleasant. They seem to arise as well. They seem to be there. Different sensations that I'm aware of. You can even call these sensations like feelings. Other types of stimulus, I guess. So just sensations. So you can notice these sensations within awareness. So therefore, whatever sensation there is arising, doesn't define you. You're not your sensations. You're not your thoughts. You're not your thoughts. You're not your sensations. Then we go even deeper into our own ideas. There are some ideas, some thoughts, some concepts that we really hold on tightly to. These are known as beliefs. However, you'll notice your beliefs. Also, you have a capacity to notice that that's what I'm believing, whatever it may be. Whatever opinion you may be holding on to. So therefore, that belief doesn't define you either. So that belief has nothing to do with what you are. So you're not your thoughts, sensations, feelings, beliefs. Then what are you? Sort of let that question float in the vast ocean of silence. Motivate you to sort of look for, what am I? What is it that's not a thought, feeling, sensation, belief? I'm not any of those. Then what am I? Hold on to that inquiry, that question lightly. Allow that question to sort of motivate the way your attention moves. What am I? And continue to explore. Don't settle for any answer that's a thought, sensation, or belief. And continue to explore. Just explore. Gently in the silence. Just explore. Sort of a playful attitude. This is not a serious journey. It's one of great curiosity. Just notice with that childlike curiosity. Inquire, what am I? What am I? Keep exploring on your own, not settling for any answer. That's a thought, feeling, sensation, anything that you can grasp. Because if you can grasp it, it's obviously not you. So what am I? What am I? What am I? What am I that doesn't need to be grasped? What am I that's always there? always present. So what am I right now? Not in the next moment, not in the future. What is it that I am right now? Okay, slowly, very slowly, open your eyes and relax. So we'll conclude with a prayer. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukhabha Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti.
Shanti.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
Chetan.
thank you, Chetan.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
Thank you.